All right. Hey, welcome to the Always Moving Forward podcast. I'm Landon Johnson, as always. And today, I always say I'm here with my friends, Rocky, Jonathan, and Kara. And today, it's just me and Rocky. So we'll make the best of it. Kara's out. She's a grandma, for those of you that didn't know. And I know she will love me saying that on air. But her daughter just had a baby. And so we're wishing her well.
Beautiful kid.
Yeah. She was there for like 3 days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we kept checking, kept waiting on that picture of the baby, and it never came.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but
Bad
she's
for
here.
Leanne, but I'm sure she's happy.
No, I did see the picture of Kara, and I can't wait till she listens to this. But did you see what she posted? And I think Leanne posted it, and Kara's in the background. Basically, looks like she's been crying.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, and I know she kept saying that she was worried about having to see her daughter go through that. So, No, I'm interested and good. I'm glad. It sounds like it's a healthy baby, and everybody's doing good.
Yeah,
so.
Leanne's healthy, so that's really nice.
And Jonathan, I guess he's just playing hooky today, but
I'm sure he's taking care of business.
we'll miss Jonathan's joke of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, hey, but I am going to take advantage of having you here today, Rocky. And for those of you that don't know, Rocky's got a background of owning several businesses, having a lot of experience in a lot of different things, and then coming into real estate and having a lot of success with real estate. So, I'm going to turn it over to you pretty quickly. I'd love to know. Now, tell me what you started in. You went to college for what? What was your degree? What did you think you were going to do while you were in college?
Well, business, and then actually, when I was in college, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I was going to be. Then I became friends with a few law students, and kind of just started investigating that and changed my mind pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I started working for a sunglass hut, is what they called it, back in college, at the local mall there, and discovered like I was pretty good at talking to people and selling, and decided to change over into business. And once I graduated, got a job with MCI WorldCom, and did some pharmaceutical sales, and moved out to DC and got another sales job, and moved back into Roanoke, and that's when I started entrepreneurship. I started with a dry cleaner, and then I owned Smoothie King for 10 years, and then got into real estate.
Cool. Well, I definitely want to dig into that because I know you've got so much experience that people would love to hear about. But I want to and I don't know if you know this, but my memory of you coming in when you first joined our team was you came in and you were talking about cold showers and Wim Hof, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
With the breathing techniques and and I was like, this guy's got it, because I love the self-improvement and looking at, okay, how can we make ourselves better individually, not necessarily just in business, but you've got to self-develop before your business grows. So
I call it self-mastery.
So you came in and you were talking about, taking cold showers, and I was like, you know what? I'll give that a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I did it, and it was just like I immediately lost my breath. I was like, and I couldn't breathe. And I remember coming in and telling you about that. But is that something that you are still doing? Like, tell me from a fitness side, like what made you decide, hey, I want to do that?
Well, we're never getting younger, and when you do start to have success and you realize you're running yourself rampant, and at some point I think it clicks in our minds that we need to start taking care of our bodies, that we can maintain our success. There's a few things that I've tried for improvement, including, consistently working out. But then I started hearing about cold water therapy and the things that it can do for your body and your skin and your hair and your respiratory system, your circulatory system. Started trying taking cold showers. I use the method where you ease yourself in. You start trying to just take a 10, 15, 20-second shower in the cold, and you can switch it back to warm if you wanted to. And progressed into taking full showers with no heat at all. And, I realize it's only, low 50s at the most, but it's challenging. And it's a way to face adversity, face your fears every morning, and you just instantly feel refreshed, and it wakes you up with even out having to drink caffeine. And I know people are taking it to another level with the ice baths, and but yeah, it's something that I feel like if you get over that hurdle every morning, you've already kind of accomplished something, and it just sets your mind to just get out there and just get going.
Yeah, you said something about okay, the fear and adversity of just having to do that. I think that speaks volumes to okay how that ends up applying to the rest of your life. Of hey, I know this is going to be uncomfortable, but why'd you decide to do it? I mean, what was the thing that said, hey, this is going to benefit me?
Well, you're surfing around the internet and you see things. I think I was searching for just kind of health in general, and I came across Wim Hof. He's like an outlier superhuman, and he is an older gentleman. And I always find when these older guys can give you a nugget and teach you how to take care of yourself, you should listen. So I started watching a few of his videos. His Vice video called The Iceman is something I think everybody should watch. But he had a tough life. I think his wife died early on, and he became depressed and was trying to figure out a way to change himself. And so he went on to develop this breathing technique, and I think he actually went to India and trained for a little while on breathing techniques. And he's went on to break all these world records, and that motivated me. I saw that, and I was like, hey, I'm just going to try, the small version of this, which is taking cold showers. And once I was able to take a cold shower for a significant amount of time, I just started realizing how great it made you feel. It kind of eliminated any kind of negativity in your mind and really made you stop thinking of everything, which puts you in the present moment.
Yeah.
And I just kind of got hooked on that. And it's something I come back to. Sometimes I will go into taking warm showers again, and something in my mind snaps, and I realize I'm missing that. Kind of like when you stop working out for a few weeks and you realize, hey, I got to get back on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got started with it.
So do you feel like you start your day with that, and it's gonna suck? Like you can't. Right. Do you enjoy it while you're doing it?
It's funny, mentally I enjoy it. My subconscious mind hates it. So as soon as I even think about getting in there, I can already feel my body subconsciously drawing back.
Yeah.
And I have this little voice in my head that says, ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just good to just slam it down in the cold, just throw yourself in there and just start jumping around.
Yeah.
Now his little breathing techniques do help. And I've been doing those for so long that they come on automatically now. Yeah, it's fantastic. I recommend this to anybody. Even if you like warm showers, everybody likes a hot shower.
Right.
But just try to test yourself, at the end. See if you can withstand like 10, 15 seconds.
How would you say somebody does that? Do you take a hot shower and then turn it to cold? Do you get in? Like what would your advice be to somebody that wanted to try?
So if you're easing into it, I think the best way to do it is to start out with your warm shower, then step out of the shower stream.
Yeah.
And turn it down to the cold, and then just slowly start to put one arm in there.
Yeah.
And see how long you can keep one arm in there.
Yeah.
And if you could take it for a little while, stick the other arm in there. Then one leg and the other leg. Then, turn your back to the thing and see how long you can stand in there. And then just try to slowly build yourself up from 10 seconds to 20 seconds to 30 seconds. And really, if you can stay in there, I know it sounds like a long time, but if you can stay in there for 3 minutes, in the coldest setting, you are getting a vast amount of health benefits, and you can look it up. It's really good.
Yeah. And so personally, I'll add this, and then we will move on. But it's with you coming in to the team and talking about that was something that I tried, and I want to be the best leader that I can be. And so when people join the team and you've got great ideas and things, for those of you guys that are listening, I encourage you to go check out Rocky's social media and watch some of this on our YouTube channel. But Rocky, and I won't tell your age, but I'll say he looks younger than I do, and he's probably 10 or 15 years older than me. So Rocky is a testament to continuing with self-improvement, self-development, and what did you say you called it? Self-mastery.
Yeah.
So you came in and you added that, and then Kara's on the team, and for those of you guys that don't know, she's huge on what she eats. And then Jonathan came in, and he was big on the ice baths as opposed to the cold showers. And so, and I've tried a little bit of each of this that you guys have given, and these nuggets. And so now collectively, like, we'll have people come in the office and try to bring us lunch. And it's, I almost feel kind of embarrassed sometimes because now it's like we're this office of health nuts.
Yeah.
But it's just a testament of, like, you become who you surround yourself with. And so, surrounding myself with you and Jonathan and Kara and seeing the success that you guys have had in your personal development and how you treat your body and things that you do, I think it's improved all of us, and it's improved our team and our business and how we relate to each other. So, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. Jonathan still sits and eats his double cheeseburger while we're all sitting around eating nuts and eating protein drinks. But it is cool. It's cool to see how that was no part of my interview said, hey, man, can you tell me about your diet? Or can you tell me about, things that you do to stay in shape? But naturally, we've kind of all grown into that. And so, that's awesome having you on the team. And now we have this conversation of, is it showers? Are they better? Are ice baths better? Like what? But I think to your point, maybe the bigger point is it's that adversity, the fear and adversity that you've got to overcome. And I think I mentioned earlier, like, if I knew that water was going to be 80 or 90 degrees, I'm really not doing anything to push myself. It's the fact that I know it's going to suck, and then I go and do it anyway, and I push through that suck, and then I get to the other side, and I get the benefits of it. So
Exactly. And then when you have that adversity later on in the day, you can kind of think back and say, this isn't as bad as that cold shower or that ice bath I was jumping in this morning.
Right.
I've already handled the toughest adversity I'm going to handle today.
Yeah. I talked, my mind was trying to tell me to stop, and I made it through. And so what else? It's okay. When I go running, man, I made it through the ice bath, or I made it through the cold shower. I can push through this. I can beat my mind. My mind's telling me to stop. I can push through it, or making cold calls, or whatever it is in business that is uncomfortable. Right. Putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation to start the day, or I like to end the day with mine. And I don't know if there's better or worse to that, but I've done it. And so now it makes the other stuff seem okay and seem small.
Right. So, and you can always think, that ice bath I took last night is not as bad as this meeting I have this morning. Yeah. But think of all the other things once you make that little accomplishment that you could actually take on after that. Maybe you might be doing some other things that you need to be improving on. Yeah. And this could be that step forward that pushes you to make other life changes that are going to make your life even better and make you more successful in your business.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, I didn't intend for the whole half of the first part of this podcast to be about ice baths and cryotherapy, but, it's about health, but it's not about health. Like, how you treat your body and how you the self-discipline that it takes to do that stuff. Let's talk about that a little bit and transition into, how with the small businesses, you said dry cleaner, Smoothie King, and then getting into real estate, right? Mm-hmm. How did that translate into those businesses, and how do you feel like, what'd you learn from being a small business owner?
Well, being in a small business, you are going to do some research on the front end if you're going to get into this business, and you're going to find out what makes a business owner successful. Yeah. And a lot of that is service, understanding your niche. But a lot of that also is going to be organization and just being highly structured. When you're highly structured, you start out your day really early, and you kind of know how to handle business, clients, and just the pitfalls of a daily business. you have a structure going forward that kind of can translate into real estate or other type of business opportunities, and it gives you a leg up because you've had practice on how to deal with these situations and how to handle them, and yeah, a big part of that is structuring your day and structuring how to run your business. And those are the biggest things that translated directly over into real estate.
Okay, so you said structuring your day, and I'm a big advocate, and this comes from Tom Ferry of, win your day through 1 p.m. and you win the day. It's knowing what you do. And you came in this morning unintentionally. You probably didn't know I was going to bring this up, but talking about time management and time blocking. And
Yeah.
so how much value do you, not just in real estate, but when you had other businesses, how much value do you put on having that structure and starting your day with a routine?
I think it's the most valuable thing you can do. And I think it's the most valuable thing to a new agent is to get into time blocking, get into time management, and really figure out where your time is being spent. You can get a lot of things done in the morning before everybody even gets into their business mode and gets their day started. If you're going to bed at a good time and you're getting up at a good time, you can get all of your nutrition, all of your exercise, your planning done in the morning, and you can block that out. And then that'll give you time to be ready to go into your business and get started with your next blocks, whether it be prospecting for 2 hours. And then after that, going out to, run your showings, run your meetings, and then also taking care of your personal life later on in the day or earlier in the day, whichever way you structure that. But it just gives you a snapshot of yourself and how you need to manage yourself.
So tell me practically, and for those of people that are listening, that they're so tired of seeing I get up at 3 a.m., I get up at 4 a.m. to get all this stuff done. What's a practical schedule that you have? And one thing you said the night before, and I think that's huge, is the preparation that you've got to start the night before of going to bed, having a routine to be able to get up and do the things that you've got to do. But just give me an example for somebody that's like, hey, okay, my life is a mess. I don't have time management. I don't have time blocking. What does your night look like? And then how do you start your morning for success? What are some things that you do?
So look, I like to tell people, don't make this into something that's too hard. Start with 3 or 4 blocks, morning block, afternoon block, evening block, night block, and just stick in there whatever is going to work for you. My evening looks like getting prepared for the next day around 9 p.m. and going to bed around 10. And I'll get up at about 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'll have a workout in the morning, and we'll also hop on the treadmill. I mean because me and my wife work out together. And get my lunch ready. We drink a smoothie for lunch, so I'll get those prepared for both of us. And within that block, I will try to do my nutrition, my exercise, and my morning planning that went ahead with my evening planning. And then after I come to work, prospect for a couple of hours, go out, take care of your meetings for the day. And then if you're done with your meetings and planning, if you can do some cooking and cleaning and taking care of your home life, that's good. But I tell people, make it simple, do 4 blocks and fill those in. And then, maybe take score, maybe have a 1 through 4 and 4 being your highest score, and just rate yourself through the week and see if you can stick to those blocks. But definitely structuring your day is going to get a lot more done for you in the long run.
Yeah, structure. And I know that's something that people don't want to track their life, and I get that. But if it's important enough for you to prioritize, it's important enough to track. And
right.
And the thing that we keep coming back to on all this is intentionality and being intentional with your life, being intentional with your time management. So I think that's there is this common, I think, misconception about work-life balance. And some of the things that you just hit on, I think it's a little bit of a myth that you can have this, okay, at 50% work, 50% personal, especially as an entrepreneur. Being self-employed, there's not this separation, like how things are going at work does affect your personal life, and what's going on in your personal life affects how you come into work. So speak to that a little bit as far as, and you and your wife owned one of the businesses or maybe multiple together. How do you balance that of making sure that you've got balance in your life in all aspects?
You know, when it comes to work-life balance, I think that a lot of people end up neglecting their family a little. And I think that's got to be put into your time blocking. You actually have to make that a block. You can make it a sub block or a smaller block, but you want to put in there that, there needs to be family time. There needs to be some time away from work. I think you should spend at least one day on the weekend with your family. Having a date night with your wife or your partner on a regular basis. And I, throughout the day, just try to send text to my loved ones telling them how much I appreciate them and how much I love them, and how important they are to me. So taking the time out for yourself and for your family is pivotal. It's going to be one of the building blocks to your success, because no matter how successful you are, if that family dynamic is starting to develop cracks, it's going to translate into your business. It's going to have an effect on your productivity.
Yeah, and everything that you're saying, I think you've got to be intentional with how you treat your personal life the same way that I'm preaching, hey, you've got to be intentional with your business life. And now there's other people that I talk to, and it's the complete opposite. A great exercise that I've done is the Wheel of Life exercise. We just did it a couple weeks ago at a training that we went to. Where in your life is it not circular? Like, where do you spend more time in your business? Do you spend more time in your health? Do you spend more time with your family than you should? The idea is, what does success look like for you? And how do you build that into your life and being intentional with it? So,
yeah. And what are you doing this for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it just to work?
Right.
Or is it
why do you want to have success?
Right.
Yeah. And knowing that answer, I think that's great. Let's wrap up the last few minutes here. I want to talk about some things that you learned with having small businesses and then transitioning into real estate. What are some of the top things that you think are the same? And where I'm going with this is, I want agents that are listening to this to view themselves as entrepreneurs, as self-employed business owners, not just an agent, not just out looking for the next sale, but how you treat this like a business. And so what are some things that you feel like are similar across the board in all the businesses that you've been in?
Well, one of the things I figured out early is that when you have a business, your clientele are not just numbers. These are people, and you need to develop relationships with them. And one of the things that I enjoy is just spending time with people in general. And so that's a way to basically connect with your customers and not just treat them like they're a bottom line figure. Because in the end, I think it's more important to develop relationships, have relationships with people, and help people than it is to just try to stack money up and have a huge bank account. Because I think helping people is going to directly translate into wealth. That's what's going to bring you wealth and happiness in life, is actually helping people. And I think it's directly going to bring you wealth as well.
Yeah. Rob Daniel was on our show a few weeks ago, and that the quote, and I can't remember who said it, but it was Zig Ziglar. That's what he said. He said, to get what you want, you help as many people as you can to get what they want. And I think that's the exact. Tell me, when it comes to real estate specifically, one thing that you've been great at is connecting with clients. Connecting with what start out as cold leads and people just raising their hand and saying, hey, somebody call me about this house. What are some ways that you develop that relationship and that you do view them as a person and not just a number? Because it's very rare that you go on an appointment with somebody and you don't come back and tell me like, hey, they're my client, or hey, they've agreed to work with me. What are some ways that you build that bridge?
Well, one of the biggest ways to build that is that you want to ask as many questions as you can. That way you can get a picture of who you're dealing with and what their needs are, and then how you can help them. And I think that when you are genuinely trying to help, for some reason that comes through in your voice and your personality, and people can feel that. They can feel the honesty there. And maybe that's something that's innate, but I do think it's something that you can develop. But I think that being personable and also just trying to understand your client, and I've said this before, almost like you're trying to become a friend to them.
Yeah, I think you said it's a skill, and I agree 100%. Your active listening can be developed, and it's not just asking the questions to check off your list, like where do you want to buy or what do you want to buy. It's understanding their personal need and treating them like the individual that they are.
Exactly.
People don't want to be sold. They're tired of being sold on stuff.
Right.
And so being genuine and authentic are things that you're great at. So, well, hey, man, I appreciate you being on the show today. This has been a great opportunity just to have you on and get to hear your voice. We'll have to do this again.